friends. So good to see all of you. And permit me to just share my love for my wife, who's with us also. I dedicate this Torah to her and to all of you, but specifically to Neshama. There's something about the Torah that I want to teach today that I think I've learned from her, watching by example. Let's talk some Torah. Parshat BeShalach finds us running for our lives at the edge of the unknown. And we don't know that there's going to be a future. We worry and we worry. We worry for our past. We worry for our present. There's not going to be a future, we worry. Where will our children find the path ahead when it seems like everything is sea, impenetrable, unnavigable? All is lost. Well, often in life it can feel like that. And the Torah doesn't hold back from demonstrating our ancestors' worries. Over and over we worry. And with good reason, because for hundreds of years we were slaves, enslaved by an Egypt that remained ungrateful for the contributions to society that we offered. It's a lot of Jewish history that sounds like that. But here we are, finally, after all the plagues, out of there. But now we face the sea. Where will we go from here? We don't know that the sea will split and stand like a wall, miminam umismolam, on the right and on the left, for us to pass through. And we do pass through. And then we sing, we sing, we sing. We sing for life, we sing for the future, we sing with hope for the first time in hundreds of years. Ashir ladonai ki ga'o ga'a. I will sing to God, for God is great. We do. And then Miriam says it more forcefully than anyone else in history. Not Ashira, I will sing. Shiru ladonai, says Miriam. Sing now. My wife has taught me. Don't wait to sing. And then, as soon as we're done singing, we complain. Because here we are in the desert. We've never really been able to determine what our future would look like. And there isn't enough water. And then there isn't enough food. And we say over and over, why did you take us out of the place we knew? We could at least survive there. What about here? And when you take a step into the unknown, several times, it doesn't become more certain. It's just as scary, maybe even more so, because I've left behind, yes, the terrible conditions of my servitude, but at least I knew where my food was. Now I'm in the desert. How do I know what my children will have? How do I know what I will have? It's an unknown. But we take one step after the other, feeling the urgency of Miriam's call, the bravery of Nachshon's first steps into the water when nothing would change, the perceived confidence of Moses even as he harbored his own doubts. And then we hear this very interesting section of BeShalach, which is about the manna, the miraculous food that would fall from heaven. But God poses it as a test. It's our first learning, because we will have what we need every day. Food will rain from heaven. We call it manna, but the original verse, chapter 16, verse 4, I'll read the Hebrew. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe, hineni mamtir lachem lechem min hashamayim, v'yatza ha'am v'lakatu, dvar yom beyomo, leman anasenu, hayelech betorati imlo. Listen to the strangeness of this. And God said to Moshe, I will rain down bread, lechem in the Hebrew, for you from the sky, and the people shall go out and gather each day that day's portion, that I may thus test them to see whether they will follow my instructions or not. One quick note, the word lechem, when we say the blessing over bread, hamotzi lechem min aretz, who brings bread from the earth, it's true that we use the word lechem in modern Hebrew to talk about bread, but actually, in the ancient world, lechem just meant the staple food of its time. And so this manna, this food from heaven, this nourishment was everything we needed. But it would fall to us for the purpose of testing us, because on the sixth day, a double portion would fall. Would we take the double portion, trusting that there would be enough? How do you know there will be enough? Sometimes, friends, of course we must take responsibility for planning well for the future, but sometimes we are called to have faith that there will be enough. I'm not taking foolhardy risks when I step into the future. I'm trying to build a future for my children by being confident and responsible in the present. These are lessons that we learn for the first time in this week's Parsha. BeShalach is where we cross the sea and we sing and we complain and we worry and we learn and we grow. We are assaulted in this week's Parsha by Amalek, who hurts us where we are most vulnerable. And unfortunately, there will be some of that in life too. But we learn from these lessons that we have made it thus far. Our ancestors' children made it. We're here. And so as we cross each sea, we first have to face it. We have to name and acknowledge our fears. We have to hear God say, Ma titzak elai. Why are you crying to me? Go, take care of your children. Take care of their children. Take care of yourselves. Face your fear. The sea is nothing compared to you. You are a walking miracle. And with every step that we take, we sing back to God as Nachshon did, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you, God. You reminded me that there's no one like me too. The Talmud says this, by the way. We sing to God, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, who's like you. You know, in the Talmud, it's an interesting thing. It says God wears tefillin. God wears the tefillin on God's celestial body, whatever this means. But the rabbis say, well, we say Shema, that's in our tefillin, in human tefillin. What's in God's tefillin? Umi kemcha Yisrael goy echad ba'aretz. Who, my children, are like you, unique in all creation. Friends, you are a unique walking miracle. You have a song to sing. You have a future to build. And yes, there are frightful things ahead sometimes, but eventually they'll be behind us. That's a gift. That's a gift. So let's listen to Miriam and not wait to sing. Let's sing now. Let's sing our way into a good Shabbos, friends. Here we go. Shabbos, friends. See you on Monday.